Another classic radio aircheck on the home of classic Top 40 radio. Airchexx.com.
Big D103. That's Neil Diamond. This is Doug Taylor. Mark Thomas standing by. Oh, looky, Mark. A story from Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, from Milwaukee.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not, sir. You know, when there's smoke, there's usually fire, and, well, you don't want to fire down there. A man may be looking for medical attention after robbing a downtown Milwaukee bank. Mm-hmm. The man told the teller he had a bomb and demanded money, and the teller put money and an exploding dye pack in the bag.
Right.
The man proceeded. He didn't know that they were doing this behind the counter. He stuffed the bag in his pants, and he fled, and the pack is designed to explode and mark a robber with an irritating chemical dye. Mm-hmm. That must have been awfully painful, you know? Interesting how his voice kind of drops, you know, several octaves when that happens. I bet he's a little embarrassed to go to a doctor after that.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, probably.
Take a look at that, nurse, you know? Hey, how are the roadways out there anyway?
They're a little bit slower through Hartford. This traffic report brought to you by D'Angelo Sandwich Shops. Doug, 84 eastbound is going to be heavy for the 47 on-ramp from Sickety Street to the Bulkley. Westbound is not stop and go, but it is very heavy for the Bulkley Bridge, crawling all the way out to 41 South Main Street in West Hartford. 91 northbound looks a little bit slow past the footbridge up to Jennings Road. Southbound from Jennings Road down to the footbridge with busy traffic. 291 eastbound still backed up the beginning of the expressway out to the exit 3 on-ramp with an accident. Final stage of clearing from the right shoulder. Northbound 95 still slow 44 into Long Wharf, 48 to the Q Bridge, and 51 to the Lake Saltonstall Bridge. I'm Mark Thomas. Another traffic check in 15 minutes on Big D 103.
Stop by D'Angelo's and try their classic No. 9 sub. It's made with the finest ingredients: juicy steak, melted cheese, peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Try one today. D'Angelo's, the sandwich specialists.
Teachers, environmentalists, taxpayers, labor unions, Democrats, and Republicans.
NBC 30 weather for tonight: cloudy, breezy, showers likely tonight, a low 40 to 45, partly sunny tomorrow, windy and cooler, and a high 55 to 60. Right now, 58 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103.
Big D 103 on the Motown tour this week back in 1962. This talented trio was performing in Washington, D.C., the Supremes.
Doug Taylor on your favorite oldies. Big D 103. Dum, dum, dum.
There's Roy Orbison on Big D 103, and this is Doug Taylor. Don't forget to listen to Mark Summers' Mornings on the Big D, where all this week you could win free tickets to see the New England Blizzard in their home opener, November 5th at the Hartford Civic Center. Listen and win Mornings with Mark right here on 102.9 Big D 103. Hey, let's check out the roadways again this afternoon. We got Mark Thomas. And how are things looking out there, Mark?
Well, they've gotten actually a little bit heavier, Doug. This traffic report is brought to you by the Hartford Current. If you are commuting on 84 in the eastbound direction, it is now pretty heavy. An occasional stop and go approach of the 46 off-ramp of Sisson Avenue into the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound's a heavy and slow ride. Not stop and go, but slow from the Bulkley Bridge all the way out to 41 South Main Street. 91 northbound is still slow from the footbridge up to Jennings Road, and 91 southbound still heavy from 37 down to the 35s in Windsor. Problem is an accident. Final stage of clearing on 291 eastbound at the top of the exit 3 on-ramp from Route 159 in the Wilson section of Windsor. It's got everything gummed up. Heard State Police call time and number on it. That usually means it'll be out of there shortly. We'll keep you updated. Further south, it's busy at the footbridge and sluggish in Wethersfield at Route 3. Northbound side of 95, a little bit slow left over at Long Wharf at exit 46. Heavier 48 to the Quinnipiac River Bridge and 51 to the Lake Saltonstall Bridge. I'm Mark Thomas of the traffic check in 15 minutes on Big D 103.
The Hartford Current, your source for the latest news, sports, and business with in-depth reporting and useful information. See what's in it for you.
Thanks to Governor Rowland, Connecticut is back on track.
Folgers in your cup. Big D 103.
Big D 103, good times, great oldies. Well, here's a fellow who's been named 1999 Music Cares Person of the Year. That's according to the Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, Stevie Wonder will receive that honor in February out in L.A.
If it's a great oldie, it's got to be 102.9. Big D 103.
Big D 103 is some good, clean fun. Here's Bobby Darin.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
Big D 103.
That's Jay and the Americans on Big D 103 with Doug Taylor and a final check on the roadways this afternoon. It's a hump day, a Wednesday, all downhill into the weekend from here.
That's right.
I love saying that.
I know you do.
Mark Thomas, what's happening out there, buddy?
Well, right now we still have some traffic. Doug, this traffic report is brought to you by our friends at the Mashantucket Pequot Museum and Research Center. 84 eastbound, still stop and go. 46 off-ramp, Sisson Avenue, the Bulkley Bridge westbound, having an occasional stop and go from Governor Street. 56 in East Hartford, all the way out to 41 South Main Street. 91 northbound is slower at Jennings Road. Southbound is still busy from 36 down to the 35s out to 291 eastbound, which is still jammed. Out towards Abyssal Bridge, earlier accident by the exit 3 on-ramp has been cleared away. Further south from that, you're okay in through Hartford, down into Weathersfield and Rocky Hill. Though we had a report of a disabled vehicle by the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Keep an eye out for it. 91 north is okay. Turnpike north, easing out nicely, just busy at the Quinnipiac River Bridge and the Lake Saltonstall Bridge. I'm Mark Thomas. Dave Bell's back first thing tomorrow morning with another traffic check on Big D 103.
Travel through time at America's most remarkable new museum. This week and enjoy Native American monster stories at the Mashantucket Pequot Museum and Research Center, exit 92 off I-95, open daily.
During Filene's Best of the Northeast sale.
Paid for by friends of Chris Dodd.
NBC 30 weather for tonight: cloudy, breezy, showers likely, a low 40 to 45. Partly sunny tomorrow, windy, cooler, and a high 55 to 60. Right now, 58 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103.
Our call letters are WDRC-FM. Our dial position is 102.9. Your number one station for good times and great oldies.
WDRC-FM, Hartford. Big D 103.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
60s.
The Beatles. Ask not what your country can do for you.
To the Batmobile.
Hey, hey, with a monkey. Carl Yastrzemski has tied it up in the ninth inning with a home run.
Magical Mystery Tour, the new capital LP by the Beatles.
I have a dream today.
And now, folks, it's Suck It To Me time.
Hook 'em down, Omerta 1.
It's one small step for man.
Have your million kids get together and have 3 days of fun and music.
Mod Squad.
The President of the United States is not about to commit force.
60s.
6 o'clock.
It's time for the 60s at 6 on 102.9. Big D 103.
Big D 103, it's the 60s at 6 with Doug Taylor. It's also a one-hit wonder Wednesday. Spotlight 1969 and a million seller from this group. They only had one hit, Young Holt Unlimited, Soulful Stride. That's Young Holt Unlimited with the Soulful Strut on Big D 103. This is Doug Taylor. Stick around this hour. 60s at 6. We've got the Grassroots, also lovely Leslie Gore, the Drifters, and more of those one-hit wonders coming up on Big D 103.
Well, here's PC Modem, the computer genius.
Big D 103.
Big D 103, are you ready for another workout tonight? Ooh, I'm sweating the oldies. Doing the locomotion. Here's little Eva Boyd on the Big D.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now.
102.9 Big D 103 remembers
1966.
Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. Your mission, Jim, should you decide to accept it, is to keep Cardoza alive so that he may continue to aid Delgado. This recording will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
Big D 103. Having a good time. Big D 103.
Big D 103, good times, great oldies. Temptations, brand new album out called Phoenix Rising. I understand it's now a million seller on the charts. Here they are from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Temps.
Girl, I can't believe my ears.
Oh, I could never, ever love another after loving you. Don't you know that's true? Those are the Temptations on Big D 103. And I'm Doug Taylor. You know, weeknights after 8 o'clock, we got old Glenn O'Brien walking through the door, and he'll keep you company with the best oldies on the radio tonight. And, you know, this week, listen to Big D 103 with Glenn, and you could win tickets to the Connecticut Pet Show. That's coming to the Expo Center in Hartford, November 7th and 8th. You might want to mark that on your calendar. Tonight, you could win a family 4-pack with Glenn O'Brien this evening after 8 o'clock right here on Big D 103.
Teachers, environmentalists, taxpayers.
Paid for by Friends of John Rowland Incorporated, Frank Biondi, Treasurer, and Jody Rell, Lieutenant Governor 98, Bonnie Smith, Treasurer.
NBC 30 weather for tonight, cloudy, breezy, showers likely later on, a low 40 to 45. Partly sunny tomorrow. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cooler, and highs 55 to 60. Right now down to 56 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103. Baby, I know that.
Big D 103, good times, great oldies, 60s at 6. And also a one-hit wonder Wednesday. And by the way, tomorrow night, top 10 at 10. It's from this week back in 1968. Yeah, here's a million seller from that year. The Occasions.
I'm a girl watcher. Doug Taylor. Big D 103. I'll be alone each and every night.
Big D 103 certified gold this week back in 1969. Here's the Guess Who and Laughing. Big D 103, that's our Canadian friends. Shoo, Burton Cummings and the Guess Who. Yeah, they're laughing. This is Doug Taylor with the 60s at 6. Also, one hit wonder Wednesday with the Buffalo Springfield coming up next.
Hi, it's Mark Summers and, of course, Beth Bradley on Big D 103. Well, Beth, tomorrow morning we've got good times, great oldies, and more.
More? More what?
Well, more great stuff.
Come on, be specific.
I'll be specific. We've got Big D Monster Bash tickets. We've got tickets for the New England Blizzard home opener and Big D Morning Show mug.
I'll have news.
Dave Bell on traffic, Bob Maxon's weather, and, of course, the most music in the morning right here on 102.9 Big D 103.
Good time oldies. Big D 103.
102.9 is
102.9 Big D 103 remembers
1963.
I wish I could show my appreciation for all you've done for me, Tim. You took me in, you fed me, you clothed me, and now you're helping me with the spaceship. You know, as soon as we fix the spaceship, it's goodbye, Uncle Martin.
Big D 103. Up on the roof. It's solid gold. Big D 103. Hey, hurry up.
That's Diana Ross and the Supremes on Big D 103, and I'm Doug Taylor. Hey, the big weekend coming up, our Big D Halloween night in our old G. Fox building in downtown Hartford. It's the Big D Monster Bash. You don't want to miss this. It's Edgar Allan Poe's A Town Gone Mad. 40 continuous shows, including The Raven, The Pit and the Pendulum, 14 haunted dungeons, 6 entertainment stages, and even a little pumpkin patch for the kids. On Halloween night, between 6 and 9, tickets are only $8. And best of all, $1 of that 8 will be going towards our friends at Food Share. See you Halloween night for the Big D Monster Bash with all your friends right here at Big D 103.
Now, the Gem Jewelry Special Report with Mike and Eric. Doors open at 9 a.m. sharp.
NBC 30 weather for tonight, cloudy, breezy. Oh, yes, and some rain is already coming down. Tonight's low 40 to 45. Partly sunny and windy tomorrow and cooler, a high 55 to 60. Right now, 56 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103.
Big D 103. Wrapping up tonight's 60s at 6. These are the Hondells.
It's alright.
Our call letters are WDRC-FM. Our dial position is 102.9. Your number one station for good times and great oldies.
Good. They're great. WDRC-FM, Hartford. Big D 103.
Big D 103, good times, great oldies. One hit wonder Wednesday. Here's Marcy Blaine.
You're not a kid anymore. Bobby's girl.
Oh, heck, everybody wants to be Bobby's girl. Well, not me, of course. That's Marcy Blaine on Big D 103. Yeah, this is Doug Taylor. We got the Birds coming up. Also, Gary Lewis and the Playboys got the Beatles and more of those one-hit wonders coming up, too, on Big D 103.
Did you see the current today? I was...
Back to the golden age of rock and roll. Big D 103. From the Hall of Fame, here's Ricky Nelson.
I'm a traveling man. Big D 103.
NBC 30 weather for tonight, cloudy, breezy. Oh, a lot of rain coming down this evening already. A low 40 to 45. Partly sunny tomorrow, windy. It's going to be cooler, too. Highs only 55 to 60. Right now, 56 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103. Doug Taylor. Big D 103.
See TV and
B103 Twin Spin.
Tonight, this is Doug Taylor, and the Beatles and Little Richard performed this week back in 1962 in Liverpool. They share a bill at the Empire Theatre in the Fab Four's hometown. Got the Beatles coming up next on Big D 103.
Big D 103. She's in love with me and I feel fine.
Big D 103. Ooh, I love those one-hit wonder Wednesdays. Like this group from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. These are the Reflections, Romeo and Juliet on the Big D.
At home, at work, or in the car, thanks for choosing us. 102.9 Big D 103.
I just love that old-time rock and roll on Big D 103, Three Dog Night. That's Three Dog Night on Big D 103. And I'm Doug Taylor, getting ready to head out the door. We got Glenn O'Brien coming up after 8 o'clock on the Big D. Also, you can log on to our Big D 103 website at www.wdrc.com. It's hosted by Netplex. And while you're in there, you can find a whole bunch of neat stuff in there. You can visit WazWorld. First of all, that's our online Oldies magazine. You can find out what we're doing next, our upcoming attractions, appearances. And also, while you're in there, hey, why not sign our guest book? You're welcome to do that or send us email. Our email address is bigd103 at wdrc.com.
Call 1-888-39-LOCAL.
NBC 30 weather for tonight, cloudy, breezy, and a lot of rain out there this evening, a low 40 to 45. Partly sunny tomorrow, a few clouds, windy and cooler. A high of only about 55 to 60. Right now, 56 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103. Come back when you grow up, girl.
Big D 103. Well, that's going to do it for me, Doug Taylor. I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon for the drive home. Glenn is coming up next. Have a wonderful evening.
You broke my heart.
Our call letters are WDRC-FM. Our dial position is 102.9. You're listening to Glenn O'Brien.
WDRC-FM, Hartford. Big D 103. I took my troubles down to Madame Rue.
All right, no Viagra comments. Good times, great oldies, Big D 103. One-hit wonder Wednesday night is what we've got. Here are the Shantays and Pipeline from 63 on Big D 103. 102.9 Big D 103 and one-hit wonders back-to-back. GLORIA, it's Shadows of Night on the Big D. Big D 103 and GLENNO on your radio with the Shadows of Night from 1966. And the Connecticut Pet Show is coming up soon to the Expo Center in Hartford, November 7th and the 8th. And we're going to have a free family 4-pack of tickets for you later on this hour, so keep listening to Big D 103.
Last time before the winter.
Die-hard race fans, warm up for one last race with the Enfield Pontiac 400 Halloween weekend at Riverside Park Speedway on Route 159 in Agawam, Massachusetts, just a half-mile north of the Connecticut border.
Good times and great oldies. Big D 103.
Big D 103 giving you more of the best oldies on a one-hit wonder Wednesday night. One hit for this group, the Mermaids, got all the way up to number 3 in 64, Popsicles and Icicles from Big D.
Here's another great oldie on 102.9 Big D 103.
We're keeping the good times and the great oldies coming all night long right here on 102.9 Big D 103.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Gonna be dry.
Big D 103, there's Johnny Nash looking on the sunny side of life. I can see clearly now from 72 and a million seller. This is Glenn O'Brien with an invitation to join Big D Halloween night at the old G. Fox building in downtown Hartford. It's the Big D Monster Bash. Edgar Allan Poe's A Town Gone Mad. 40 continuous shows, including The Raven, The Pit and the Pendulum, 14 haunted dungeons, 6 entertainment stages, and a pumpkin patch for the kiddies. And on Halloween night between 6 and 9, tickets are only $8. And best of all, $1 from each ticket sold that night goes to our friends at Food Share. So we hope to see you Halloween night for the Big D Monster Bash with 102.9 Big D 103.
Buying a new car or truck shouldn't be like a scavenger hunt.
Come on down.
NBC 30 weather for tonight, showers ending after midnight, a low of 40, and then for tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, and cooler, the highs 55 to 60. We've got 54 degrees at your number one station for good times and great oldies, 102.9.
Big D 103.
Greatest hits of today and yesterday.
Get out of here.
Radio Z100.
Where you hear radio the way it used to be.
68 RKO.
I think it's time we unleash Roller Mania again. How about some concert tickets, huh? Call it number 9. Climb on the phone right now and give it to me. The phrase that pays.
All day today, WLS is celebrating the Big 89 Rewind.
WPGC-FM Morningside with Lee Logan. How you doing tonight?
Right here.
66 WNBC New York.
WHBQ.
Playing it for Earl, Arkansas. Only Q. 100 and a new kid in town, JoJo Cookin' Kincaid. And it is imperative, I say imperative, that you send me one of your high school newspapers, and if you don't, it'll show on your report card.
On aircheck.com.